All right, we're on. So, welcome to City Talk Fall River. It's just me and Derrick today. This is Trott.
This is Derrick.
How you doing, everybody?
What's up?
There's a couple of things going on right now.
Yeah, but can we talk about how nice fucking day it is out there?
All right, talk about that. It's a nice day to be outside, right?
Oh, it's beautiful out there. It's only like almost 70 degrees right now.
It is almost 70 degrees out.
And I did actually slip and I actually blurted out the F word.
You did? You just swore just now?
Oh yeah.
Wow, this guy.
Hey, well, that's gonna be a new record about like 13 seconds in.
You beat Edward Costin's record. I've sworn on his radio station.
Dropping F-bombs.
This little podcast that we have going on.
Sorry, y'all. But no, it's beautiful out there.
Oh, I think I messed up. I put episode 65. It's actually episode 66 today. So
last week you did the same thing.
So it's really
2 weeks ago.
It's really episode 14. We just keep on messing up the numbers.
Yeah, we reset after so long.
No, if I can go through and edit them all.
Yeah,
so. Oh, that's right. I did edit it.
You did
that last week. That's right. So I actually listened to that one a couple weeks ago, and I think we're professional sports announcers now.
Yeah, because we spent the first 30 minutes talking about the Super Bowl.
I call in WEEI on a regular basis, at least 3 to 5 times a week. Yeah. Right. I called in this morning. I know Josh Silva also likes to call into the sports shows, and sometimes he'll text me and say, "I heard you on a sports show. Good, good comment, blah blah blah." But I listened to the real episode 65, and we sounded better than anybody on WEI besides Michael Holley. It was great. We definitely sound better than Felger and Mass. There's absolutely no question about it, because all they do is yell. What's Danny doing? What's Belichick doing? That's all they do. That's all they say. That's all they do.
I don't listen to him, so I
can't do it. I can't. I listen to like 3 seconds. I'm like, oh, I'm out of here. I'm out of here. But yeah.
Okay. All right.
You should be proud of yourself.
I am all right. I am proud of ourselves.
Oh, your base. So
your base belongs to us. Yes.
So we are going to. Because you actually watched a lot of this council meeting. Every time I put it on, I was like banging my head against the wall.
Dude, it was. I only got to watch about an hour and 20 minutes of just the finance committee. I don't think I've ever wanted to throw things more than I did during that whole.
It got you angry?
Oh my dear Lord. Just in that first hour and a half-ish, where do you start? You start with, of course, the first person that always has to talk, Cliff Ponte.
No, here's the thing. It's funny. It's interesting because if we start from the beginning with Cliff Ponte, when he first started announcing he was going to become a council candidate, Monica Souza, who she can't claim to be Miss Anonymous anymore because she's on the spot. She's on the spotlight now.
Oh yeah,
she's in the spotlight now. She's worked for the city. She's in the spotlight now.
Is she in the spotlight now?
I had to say that 3 times just in case. It's like Beetlejuice. So she called him out when rest his soul, George Thompson was doing Snafu Radio on the BCC. I have no idea where it is right now. It's just somewhere around there. It's probably underneath. Here it is. We have George Thompson's memorial on display here in front of my desk at all times.
Just a little over a year.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. February 22nd was his day he passed last year. At any rate, George Thompson had the radio show Snafu, and he also had Monica Souza hosting with him at the time. Mm-hmm. And Monica called him out big time because if you're running for city council, Monica is one of those people, not just city council, but mayor, any of it. Monica is one of those people that likes to get to know the person straight up. Who are you? What are you going to do for our city? That kind of thing.
And I think everybody should be on that wavelength.
Yeah. I mean, when she and I had some disagreements about some things on the previous show we did on BCC back in the day, and she would consistently be in my ear, like, what are you going to do? What about this? What about that, Tampa? What about this? What about that? Right? I know, but I think that she was doing a good service at this point in time on that radio show because she asked him what he thought of the CSO project, the Combined Sewer Overflow Project, and he didn't know anything about it at that point in time. He was misinformed completely. He was like deer in the headlight moment for him. He was new. I didn't hold it against him personally. Like I didn't jump all over it, but we all knew that was not a good thing for him to, that wasn't a great thing for him at that moment in time. Fortunately, the BCC shows for him, I should say. Fortunately for him, the BCC shows didn't have thousands of listeners and things like that, like WSAR would have. You know what I mean? At that time, it was okay for him to be green and uninformed and things like that. As he became more informed and he got better at, he was always good at public speaking, but as he got more informed and more comfortable talking about the city topics to the city, he made a big impression. He had a lot of money and he had a lot of signs around the city and a lot of support, and he got the second most votes on the list. Mm-hmm. He represented to people the new faces that they wanted to see in city politics, and they voted out Leo Pelletier, Pat Casey. Somehow they brought back Steve Camara. Get that one at all.
Got rid of Dan Rigo.
Yeah, Dan Rigo, another one. And they brought in the new faces. They brought in Cliff was the newest of new faces. Sean Kadim was not a new face. He's an old name and an old face, but
he's now in a new role.
He's new to the city council there. Yeah, Pamela LaLiberty LeBeau.
Yep.
I got
it.
Yipped at by Nikki for not saying the full name. Who else new? Wait, there is somebody new, right?
Oh yeah,
the guy
in seat one.
I can't think.
Big Orange.
Oh yeah, there is something.
Oh,
you know what's interesting? There's a rumor going around.
Oh, I don't know if it's a rumor so much because we've seen pictures.
There's a photo out there of but we don't know if he paid for it. We don't know if he paid for that. No. Somebody else might have paid for those signs. Sure. But there are signs out there of Richard Cabaceres for mayor.
I still think it's an April Fool's.
Well, let's get back to Cliff Ponte for a minute.
Yep. We'll get back.
So Cliff, since he's become a city councilor, I recall many inbox messages to him from myself saying that you're doing a very good job. I like what you're doing. I had doubts. I had a lot of doubts in the beginning, and I thought he was doing a pretty good job. Mm-hmm. Then the budget came. Then budget season came, and he completely flopped. He just completely flopped, and it was embarrassing, in my opinion, to watch. After that, he kind of got more comfortable in the seat, and he's consistently now, every meeting, like calling people liars. Like, he's not playing around anymore. Now he's just like very comfortable asserting himself and calling people liars and, calling people in the administration out and things like that. Some people might see that as a good thing. What do you see it as?
Right. Let me backtrack just a touch. One of the things that I never kind of liked about what Cliff Ponte did was in the beginning how he said, "Hey, you know what? Give me 2 years, and if you don't like what I do, don't vote for me, and I'll step down." Well, first things first. That's to me that just seemed like the ultimate beg. I'm like, all right, you know what? Just give me 2 years. Let me see what I can do. I'm like, you know what? Okay, whatever. I mean, in the beginning, we've all said it. I mean, we all agreed. I mean, I'll be honest. I did not vote for Cliff.
You did?
I did not. However, I thought that in the beginning he was
doing pretty good.
Doing good. He was spot on in what he was saying.
Jordan Sylvia, the mad mind behind Throw Up and Fall River, he from day one didn't like Cliff Ponte.
Well,
and he stayed consistent with it because he doesn't like anybody.
Yeah.
All right, keep going.
So you see he
doesn't even like me.
Can I?
I'm sorry, but I need to say that.
All right, shush. You're starting to act like Cliff during last city council meeting. I might throw something at you.
Was there a threat made?
No. It wasn't a threat. It was a promise.
No. Please. Was there a threat made in the council meeting that someone was going to throw something?
Oh, no.
Oh, all right. I thought that's how you delivered that.
That's just me to you. That's all.
You can't throw anything at me. I've seen your aim. It's awful. All right, keep going.
Anyway. From a foot and a half, I'm pretty sure I'm pretty deadly.
I'm quicker than you think.
Okay. Anyway, so we start to see Cliff Ponte doing all right in the beginning. We start to see him really start to flounder in the budget, and then you start to see a very different version of the person where he's not so much where he's trying to be the guy that's trying to help, do good for the city, but he's not really doing it effectively. And all he's been doing is you see it kind of like this I'm trying to think of the right word here. Like, I'm not saying false enthusiasm, but he has this
fake rage.
Yeah, all right, I'll give you that. Like a fake rage to show that this is. I mean, I'm disgusted and I'm disappointed. And
it used to be I'm concerned.
Yes,
remember?
It used to be.
I have concerns.
I have concerns. Now it's I'm disappointed. So right there, that kind of gives me a little bit of a. That's not.
There's an inconsistency.
It's not resonating as a vote. In my personal opinion, that's not resonating to the voters as saying that you are looking for people. You're looking out for the people. You're basically saying that you have a personal disgust with something, and you're not saying the people are.
Well, maybe he's trying to influence people to have disgust as well.
That could be, but to me, it's not working. I mean, I'm not liking this.
You don't think it's going over with the public either?
The person that I saw when he first took office in the beginning of 2016 versus the person that I see in the first quarter of 2017 is not the same person. So there's an inconsistency. And whether or not there are people that are influencing the way that he's thinking is a whole other story. But it's not working for this voter. So you have to be able to, I mean, I have zero issues in being able to call out the wrong things that the administrations are doing. Okay. I have zero issues with that. Right. But do it in the appropriate manner. You want to have a discussion, you want to voice concerns, do it. Don't put this fake rage voice on saying, I'm completely disgusted, this, and that. It's not right. I mean, it doesn't suit the vibe of the city council. It doesn't suit. It's not suiting me as a voter. And if it's not suiting me as a voter, there's got to be other people that are crazy enough to vote to think my way too.
Do you think that there's a vested interest in for some people to keep the city council and mayor at odds?
I've always thought that there's supposed to be a check and balance between the city council and the mayor, though. But if you have, I would say that, is there a vested interest? I would say that there's probably not a vested interest, though. But what I'm saying is that there's definitely a value to have a stance against what the mayor is trying to do sometimes, and to be like, yeah, maybe we could do it better. Or if there isn't a stance to that point, go with what he's saying.
Let's just say that Jazel Correa is coming out with good ideas and requesting from the council opportunities to carry out some of these ideas. I'm not saying that that's true, because I think obviously my opinions on some of these things that he's come out with. I agreed with some, disagreed with some. I'm just saying in general, do you think that the current council as it is, person by person, do you think that they all, if they were to vote yes or no, that their yes or no vote was genuine based on their wanting Jazel to succeed or fail?
Fail. I think there are enough people on the council that if there was something to come down that was a genuine new kind of idea that's trying to be implemented, and it doesn't fall in line with the old boy network, or the whatever you want to call it, the old school network of how city councils run.
The big boy.
Not big boy. The good old boys.
The good old boys.
The good old boy network. And if
not only is that's sexist as well.
Yeah. Well. Right. Anyway. If that doesn't fall in line with the mentality of the council, then yes, I believe that they just ultimately want it to fail.
Let me get some of this in now. So as far as the council overall goes, I believe that there is an agenda overall, not person to person, because I think if you go person to person, some people do have agendas and some people don't. I think some people it's very obvious that they have an agenda, and in some, I think that their only primary agenda is to make sure that they look good while everybody else looks bad. So there's almost zero agenda, in my opinion, of actually trying to get things done. If a council meeting takes 5 hours based on them going back and forth, yelling, arguing, banging tables, or just simply getting as much freaking camera time as they possibly can get, right? Mm-hmm. If a council meeting consists of that, then I don't think that they're putting the people first. Am I wrong or not?
No, I agree.
Right. Phone number, if you want to call in, is 774-955-0533. We're just talking about the current council and the mayor. And if you have any other city topics, I know there's some other things going on out there. I know for a fact that there's like down at the CVS and President Ave, they're having some type of protest about healthcare. We saw a couple of videos on there. We also saw on the internet some pictures of maybe Councilor Richard Cabaceres running for mayor or getting ready to run for mayor as well.
We'll talk about that later.
Yep, we'll talk about that later as well. But Derrick, I'm sorry, I just wanted to kind of get that in.
All right, so watching city council, being at the city council chambers, I mean, I've stopped going simply because I don't have 4 hours or 5 hours to invest in that. Now, do I think that city council meetings should take that long? Not every one. The only ones that I believe should take that long are during budget season because that is a long, drawn-out discussion. It's a 240 some odd page document of how we're spending the city's tax dollars. So I think it warrants to have 5-6 hours of discussion every night for as long as it takes to get this all squared away. Now, it also takes the fact that you have to know how to vote for a budget, which last year we figured out no one knows how to do.
That was a horror show all in itself. Subcommittees should probably take longer than regular council meetings.
I disagree. I think subcommittee meetings don't need to take 2 hours either.
But that's when they're doing the deliberation. That's when they're really trying to fight for what they're going to actually do in the council meeting. Like that's like they're coming to a decision as to what they're going to bring to the council meeting. So sometimes there could be a lot of discussion on that, and they can also bring other people into this conversation and things like that.
Hey, speaking of which, when was the last time we actually saw a subcommittee meeting for anybody?
Have you been having conversations with people?
No,
because somebody brought that up to me too.
I swear. I mean, I just thought about it because I remember in the when Cliff Ponte took over, was the head of the ordinance committee. That was
frequent. Yeah,
it was very frequent. I have not seen a subcommittee meeting for an ordinance subcommittee meeting in a long time.
Haven't seen any kind of subcommittee meeting.
Hey, you want to know which one hasn't been around for longer?
Oh gosh,
budget preparation.
Budget prep.
Yeah, I haven't seen one in over a year.
That's a really bad. That was a really unproductive subcommittee. Let's just be real about that.
I thought there was something discussed where they were going to start going through all of these subcommittees and eliminating the ones that weren't needed. I hope that's the first one off because that was the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
So let's talk about Cliff one more time. So Cliff Ponte, one more time. I just got to get this out because I understood from when you were going over this meeting that you noticed that he has a different demeanor. Mm-hmm. It's been consistent. I remember I did say that during the budget time during the year last year, he really did flop. I don't think he came off as strong as he needed to. I don't think he looked very decisive. I think he looked very afraid of what was going to happen as far as the union goes. Mm-hmm. When it came to the privatization of hauling trash. I would say it that way for Nikki's purpose. But as far as Cliff Ponte goes overall. Promises. Didn't he promise a couple of things?
What do you got?
On WSAR?
What do you got?
All those commercials on WSAR. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna. If Nikki was here, she would be doing the Ponte thing. But true story though. Didn't he?
Please, Nikki, call in. I beg of you.
Didn't he? Real quick. Didn't he say that he was going to do everything he can to fight the purple bags and the fee? Why did he vote against the budget then? It was going to eliminate the fee. And speaking of budget preparation and audits, didn't he kind of support people paying the fee? He was in his chair. He wasn't part of the subcommittee, but from his chair, didn't he actually say we should be looking into how we can collect? And didn't he also, throughout some of the council meetings, complain about compliance and how we should be meeting our compliance numbers with the purple bags? Yeah. For someone to say and to get elected saying that he was going to do everything he can to fight these two factors, and for him to do a complete 180. Some people say 360. It's a 180.
The 360 is all the way around.
Exactly. He did a complete 180 on this. And that's why I'm not going to be able to support him next year if for whatever reason. Because people who make promises need to follow through on them. I actually didn't have too much of a problem with Jason Correa's budget. There were some things I didn't like about it, but there were some things I did like about it. But guess what? I was going to vote no. I made a promise to the public I would not raise taxes. You just got to stand your ground, regardless of who is in your ear, regardless of what's going on. Your number one focus should be to look out for the taxpayers that put you in office.
Agreed.
And they put you in office for a reason. They put you in office for a reason because they believed that you were going to fight for them. So when you get there and you start talking about compliance and you start talking about the fee, that's an issue. That's an issue that I had a problem with. That's why I can't support that. That's why, like right now, there's only probably 2 guys on the city council that I can even deal with right now.
Can I guess? Can I take a wild guess?
It's probably yeah.
Joe Camara?
Yeah.
Steve Long.
And I'm good with Pam for the most part. I think we have disagreements, but I'm good with her too.
Yeah, I mean
that's about it.
I mean those are, as of this moment right now. If there were nobody running, and if there was nobody else that put their name in the hat, and we do have people put through their name in the hat, and we'll get to that later on too. Those would be probably like the 2 that I would definitely vote for without a second question, without a second doubt, would be Joe Camara, Steve Long. Everyone else has proven zero, and I hate to keep bringing up Rich Cabasas. I really do hate keep bringing it up. I truly don't think he deserves 30 seconds of my time. I don't, but I just keep thinking about that stupid campaign thing where he says, "I don't want to kick the can down the road. I want to pick it up and recycle it." What have you done to pick up any can and recycle anything? You have done nothing. Zero. You have been the biggest roadblock amongst everyone. And now in your defense, maybe you may be thinking, I'm doing this because I'm trying to think of the betterment of the city. But no, every time you've ever had a discussion, and in this last city council meeting, it was evident. You took 3 minutes to say what you needed to say. You didn't have a back and forth. You just made 2 or 3 opinions. You didn't let anybody respond, and then you yielded. Okay, he's been doing that consistently for the last 2 months.
So what he'll do, and what you're trying to, and I believe you're trying to say is that what I've seen Rich Cabasas do on more than one occasion is ask a question, get an answer, argue,
not like the answer he got,
argue, and then say I yield to try to get the last word in.
Exactly. But then he also has that moment where he's like, aha, I got you. And that's not what you're supposed to be there for. You're supposed to be there to work with everyone, not saying, ha, I got you, like a little child. I want a council that is searching for solutions.
I agree.
And
deciding on what they want to do and then search for the solutions to get there. That's the kind of council that I'm hoping to see in the future, whether I'm a part of it or not. Doesn't make a difference. I want to see people with the mentality of let's get things done.
Right.
And I usually say it a different way. I'm trying to be more respectful today on my show. But let's get things done is what really I'm hoping to see the mentality of in the future. I don't think it's there. I don't think it's there right now. I think that there's just a lot going on, and we don't have the inside scoop as to what the details really are. So we're only sitting here watching these people complaining every council meeting, and then you hear the mayor on his own radio show complaining about the councilors, and it's just going back and forth, and it's not helping the city in any way, shape, or form. It is in some cases helping their own personal vendettas or their personal agendas. You know, you're going to hear, if Councilor Cabaceres is running for mayor, all you're going to hear is the same stuff that you've been hearing from his chair. They don't communicate. The mayor doesn't have this, and the mayor doesn't have that, and the administration doesn't have this, and the administration doesn't have that. He's going to do the same thing that he's been doing the entire time. He's going to do the consistent thing that most politicians do, or most traditional politicians do: repeat the mantra. He will continually repeat the same sentences or the same phrases over and over again to try to drill that in voters' heads. And the only reason why he would do something like that is because it works. It does. Unfortunately, we have a voter base, not just in Fall River, but in most of the country, that will, if you tell them something enough times, they'll start to believe it, whether it's true or not. It just happens that way.
Fake news.
It's very, very unfortunate, but that's how it goes.
Right.
I don't like the method, but voters fall for it, have fallen for it a million different ways. So it is what it is. But the promises. That is the number one reason why I can't support and won't support Cliff Ponte next year, and that's it. I don't think he's a bad person. I don't think he's evil. I don't, if I see Cliff, and if he probably hates me now, but if I see it, I'll say hi to him and the whole 9 yards. Ray Mitchell, same thing. I'll say hi to these people. I have no problem with that. But as far as supporting them politically, absolutely not. It's just not happening.
I can't. Well, if Ray may, one thing I will say about Ray, and I'm done with this. Ray may have a really good face. Like he put a really good mask on for everyone for the last however many decades that he's been in. The last 2 decades maybe.
No, he's been the city councilor since 1872, if I'm not mistaken.
All right, let's get serious for a second.
Just estimating.
All right, estimentation. Right.
That's an estimentation, yes.
Love you, Nikki. Miss you.
For everyone out there, about 2 years ago, Dan Rigo used the term estimentation, and we've kind of been using it for the past 2 years now. Keep going.
So, I just hope that everyone remembers. I want to say it was like 3 or 4 council meetings ago when they were making a vote. Ray was completely he's trying to you see him he's trying to get Linda's attention, Linda, the young kid Linda.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, okay. If you haven't seen that thing, watch it. He's trying to get the attention. Councilor Mitchell, he looks like he saw a ghost, has no idea what to say. All of a sudden, you hear Linda in the background say, yes. Then Ray, yes. I'm like,
my problem with that was that the council president was laughing about it.
And the council president was laughing about it. You had everyone before him laughing about it. Ponte was laughing about it.
Down, yeah.
But hold on.
That's not funny to me.
But yet everyone's laughing and there's this whole decorum thing. But that's not fun. But you're right. It's
not a joke.
It's really no joke.
It's not a joke.
You have a counselor that is basically voting the same way that the person in the next seat over is going to tell him to vote.
It goes to show you the culture of that situation.
It's the good old boy network.
He looked at her, she told him what to say, and he said it. He didn't. How many times have you seen Joe Camara in the middle of everything say, "Hey, can we get that red again?" That's how you're supposed to do it. Hey, can we get that red off, please? I need to know what I'm voting on.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with saying that.
No.
So for me, watching this, I wasn't laughing, and I wasn't even saying, "Wow, oh my God, that's awful," blah blah blah. No, I was watching this with disgust and shock on my face. You kidding me? That just happened. Honestly, that was a January, I believe, the 24th.
I don't remember. All I know is it was probably 3 or 4 council meetings ago.
January 24th.
Okay, I'll give you that.
2 days before my birthday.
Oh, of course.
You can feel the hatred from Florida right now. Nikki's sending me vibes right now. Hatred. But no,
she'll be sending you a text message in a second.
No, I'm not 100% sure of the date, but I'm pretty sure it was a January meeting where it was the same one with the cough drop. Wasn't it cough drop gate?
Oh, Rocola gate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was the same thing where when LaPrera was yelling and going back and forth with Joe Camara, I believe.
I have more backbone than that.
Yeah. Mm. So we got all this going on. We got all this going on in the council chambers, and then it's just absurd to hear anybody at all talk about decorum.
Yeah.
It's absurd. Yep. It's absurd for anyone to talk about having some type of decorum in the council chambers, because you got people just calling each other liars. You got people yelling at each other. You got people on WSAR calling each other out like it's a UFC match. You got all this stuff going on.
Yeah.
It's a freaking circus, and it's a mockery. It's a mockery.
It's a mockery of democracy.
I was almost going to go there.
You should have went there.
I almost went there because it was going to come out very natural to say it. But it is a mockery of democracy. It is. And it shouldn't be. And it's not. And again, I know that it can be funny, and I know that we can joke about it all day. I have. But it's getting serious now, man. Like, are you benefiting from this? We still have the friggin' purple bags. We still have them. It's a complete failure in the city. Yeah. And I really truly believe, I hate to say it, but I truly believe that those in power right now are waiting for election time to get rid of them. And everybody's going to jump on board to act like they need to get rid of the bags. I am going to literally lose my mind if I see that happening.
Because I wonder why. Because here's the greatest part of it all. And I'm gonna use Linda as the example, because that is the prime example to use here. She started with not liking the bags in the very, very beginning.
We have the article when she said that the people in Fall River are too financially burdened.
Yes.
To deal with this.
So she said that she didn't want the bags. They were voted in. She came up with a complete lie that Fort Lauderdale uses bags and pays a fee.
When she did that, I went online with the snippet of that video and showed it to everybody that she stated that Fort Lauderdale had the bags and the fee. And then I went on her wall and I posted what Fort Lauderdale had, and it got deleted.
Yep. Then it turned into, we have to make a decision that we can't eat steak all the time. And hold on, stop. Let me go.
Yeah.
Let me go for a second.
Yeah.
Then her buddy Sam Sutter comes into the office, and everything is perfectly fine, and now we're all for the bags. Now we're all for the bags, and on top of all that, we're in for a $10 a month per unit trash fee. All about it. Completely votes yes, and of course, Ray Mitchell, her puppy dog, also votes yes too. What a surprise. So now we have all of that. And then now we're going to see how this all goes in the next 4 months, when we start to really get into the swing of election season. We're going to start seeing something that's going to be that people are going to look at these people like, who are they? I mean, people.
They've made a living on flip-flopping.
People.
Ray Mitchell particularly.
People, look. This is all I've ever asked, and this is all I need to ask again. Look at who you're voting for. Look at their record. Look at what they've done. Look at what they've said.
Look at my text message to Nikki just now.
I'm working on it.
Okay.
I'll get there in a minute. Look at what they said. If it doesn't pass the sniff test, why do you want to keep them in the damn office? Because of name recognizability or recognition? Right. Is that what it is? Yeah. Right. Both of them the same words. Just because you know their name doesn't mean anything. They still have to serve the people, and a lot of them have gotten away with it for a long time. They're still getting away with it. We just proved during the whole recall thing, the whole recall election, that we got rid of Flanagan, and then during the next city council election, we got rid of 3 standing city councilors. One left on his own. Mayoza decided to not run for re-election
until he decided to try to get written in at the last minute.
Yes, which that kind of failed. But you start to see that you have these people who you think have the best interest for you at heart, and because you know their name, they're doing fine. No. Watch a city council meeting. Watch the 4-hour dysfunctional family. That's literally what they are. There are a bunch of dysfunctional people that need to be removed. And I mean, if I could say get rid of all 9 and put 9 new people in there, I would love to see that. And we all know it's not going to happen.
Vote 9 people?
Vote 9 completely different people in.
You're going to vote for 9 straight? Like, you're not going to care if you like them or not? You're not going to care if they're a good candidate or not? You're just going to vote for 9 people? That's what you're going to do? I don't think that's necessary at all.
Vote TJ City Council 2K17.
You don't have to vote for me. Guys, you seriously don't. If you don't like me, don't vote for me. Seriously. But if you really think that other people out there are going to fight for your, for your tax dollars and for fairness more than I will, go for it. Absolutely, go for it. I'm just going to step to the side and allow it to happen, because that's what democracy is all about. The people vote, the people make their choice. They made their choice. They put Steve Kamara in there. They put Sean Kadim in there. They put Richard Cabaceres in there.
Cliff Party in there.
You put all those people in there, you get what you pay for. That's it. Literally.
I don't know. I mean, for me, it's just.
Let's go for a council. If you're not going to vote for people like the recallers and all that stuff, you don't want to get into that scene, or you think people are too negative and all that. Fine, perfectly fine. Talk to the people who you intend to vote for. Find out what you want in this city. What is it that you want to see them do? They're going to promise you everything, by the way. They can't do half the things they promise they're going to do. But they're going to promise it to you anyway, because all they care about is your vote. Somebody the other day just was saying to me, hey, it's not good if people don't like you, because that's not good for votes or something to that nature. I'm paraphrasing. And I had to respond. I said, I can't change who I am just for your vote. But you got a lot of people out there that have no problem changing who they are, changing their opinions in that moment in time to talk to you into voting for them. I don't have it in me to do that. But there are a lot of people that do.
There's a word for that. It's called morals. Some people just don't have them, and they'll do anything they can just to get a line written for their name to complete the arrow. It's a sad state of affairs. They have no ethics. They have no morals. They don't care. They will blatantly lie in your face to say what needs to be said so they can get a stupid line across, so they can get an arrow filled in for their name.
When you see somebody say, I promise that I am going to fight, or I am going to do everything I can, and then within months after getting elected are doing the complete opposite of that, how can you really truly trust them to do their job right? And what's sad about it is it's going to work. He's going to get elected again. He is, because enough people have just been convinced. That's really what it comes down to at the end of the day. You're not holding people to the standard that's going to improve the city.
Oh, shoot. I just figured it out.
What's up?
What's up? Remember, his promise was to get rid of the $10 a month fee, right? Mm-hmm. Right. Budget got rid of the 2017, the FY17 budget got rid of the $10 a month fee, right?
Right.
So you think he's going to take credit for that, even though he voted no for the budget?
I have no idea. I just know that he's already been talking about how the bags have been a failure in this city and this, that, and the other. But he had no problem talking about getting the compliance numbers up too in meetings as well. I just need to see consistency that I simply haven't seen. It's not there. It's not. No. So I don't care anymore. You can do whatever you want now. I mean, people are going to vote for him anyway. It is what it is. But, I don't even care too much about the whole thing that, like, Pam and he work in the same real estate agency or anything like that. That doesn't bother me. I don't care about that. You can still have integrity. You can be a liar and not work in the same company, or you can have integrity and work in the same company. It doesn't make any difference to me. Just hold your people accountable to what you see. You didn't even have to dig deep for this one. He made all these promises. He didn't carry them out. It is what it is.
No kidding. I mean. Oh boy. So all right,
Derek likes to pass notes every once in a while I'm in the middle of talking, and then he throws me off my game a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. Go ahead.
So now we're gonna get into a little bit of the city council meeting. I really think we need to get into this, because this is something that I believe is a very strong example of what we're talking about. Now, if you've noticed during the last few city council meetings, typically it's Ponte that Cliff Ponte does talk first. And you know what? I don't have a problem with that. I truly don't have an issue with him coming out with stuff first. Okay. Sometimes he makes some really great points. Sometimes he comes across very, very, very brash. One of the exchanges that was very memorable to me, and I had it written down in my notes.
38 minutes?
Was approximately at the 38-minute mark, where there was a question that was being asked, and I believe it was being asked to Corporation Counsel Macy.
Okay.
The fact that, and this is just one example during his, dear Lord, I don't even know how long he was on. He was speaking. During how long he was speaking, he would consistently interrupt people because another good one was he was asking Kathy about. You had to blow that up, didn't you? He was consistently oh my dear God, I gotta look away. He was consistently asking Kathy the same question. Kathy was trying to explain the answer. He's like, it's either a yes or a no. I'm like, no, there is parts of this that, I heard the response, and yeah, I can hear how it could be a yes or a no question, but sometimes there is an explanation that needs to be had. Like, I can say, is this true? No, but here's what happened, or here's the deal. So let me give you a little bit of extra information so you understand. I'm not here defending Kathy and Viveris. Trust me, that I'm not doing that. But in this situation, a yes or no response was not warranted. I think there was definitely some discussion that had to happen back and forth. During this back and forth, I think with Corporation Counsel Macy, if I'm not mistaken, this is the one where he was asking, so can anybody show property and this and that, and he was literally going after him. I could be wrong about the specific time. If you want to roll the video, do we have?
I'm in the middle of doing something.
Okay, well, oh boy.
Go ahead.
Oh jeez. I can't believe we're going to do this. So, there are times in which you want to really start to, really kind of pepper people and get the question out and get the answers and be like, hey, this isn't right. But when you blatantly disrespect the fact that there's a conversation going, you jump in, that's not right. And that's what's been turning me off to Cliff Ponte for a while now. You have something to say, that's great. You want to make a point, that's great. Let someone else finish their point, and let's get there. Let's get to that point, and then then we can have a further discussion. I understand. Sean whatever his name was, Sean Veloso, what was Steve Veloso? Well, I can't remember the name.
Mm-hmm.
Veloso doesn't have a license to sell property, a broker property in Massachusetts and Rhode Island, and what kept being said was on the administration side is that he was being brought in as a consultant. Now, I don't know all the rules. I'm not going to claim to say I know all the rules, but the RFP, according to the RFP, it did say specifically that, or at least it was said that he was there as a consultant, and he was the point of contact for the brokerage firm. So, however that works, if anybody wants to try to tell me how that works, that's fine. I'll be more than willing to listen to anything you got to say. You give me your opinion. I'll do my research. I'll find whatever it is I need to find out. Cool. But don't attack the person. I mean, hey, you know what? You may not agree with this. Then you may not agree with it, but hey, whatever. But isn't it kind of ironic that all of this talk about brokerage licenses and all of this and that is coming up 2 weeks after someone actually just got their license?
Talking about him?
No.
Who?
Cliff. He got licensed in the state of Massachusetts for, I think, as a broker.
Oh, okay.
I find it very weird, the timing of all this.
So are you thinking that there's something going on there?
I'm not saying anything.
Oh.
I'm definitely not saying anything, but I find that the timing in which all of this stuff is
doing like what Donald Trump did with like the birther thing. Like, it's like, I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying.
No, I'm not saying anything. I mean, I just personally, I find it peculiar that all of this information could have been ascertained, like that word, could have been ascertained and dealt with during those previous discussions because there were prior discussions, but yet the broker license and all that stuff was only brought up this last meeting. But look who got the broker's license just recently, maybe 2 weeks ago. The person who brought it up during city council. That's all I'm saying. Whether it's a coincidence or not, it's a coincidence. Sure, I don't care. But it just strikes as funny to me.
Okay.
And I almost had the Donald Trump thing. I was about to start doing the
you were going to do the little hand gesture thing too.
It's huge.
I can't believe you just said that.
Yeah.
So this is a 3.5 hour meeting.
It was bad. It was really bad. I mean, yeah.
What are you talking about so much?
Well, all right. Like I said, I didn't get through the whole
I
meeting.
think they like to hear themselves talk.
I didn't get through the whole meeting, but
I think we like to hear ourselves talk.
I think I love to hear myself talk.
It's interesting.
I know. So do you.
Yeah.
The first point of discussion was to have an update on the sale of the buildings that the city owns and try to get them back on try to get the tax revenue back on the tax revenue side of everything. All right, that was what the discussion was supposed to be about. Okay. Then you have discussions about this person not being able to sell property here, going through the brokerage firm, this Eric person that just got brought up today or that day, trying to get back the $24,000 for his services because he didn't do anything. He didn't provide the services that he said he was going to do.
There is an ordinance meeting on Monday, the 27th.
It's about time. So
there is a ordinance. There is a
can we
city council meeting on public works and transportation on Tuesday.
Can we just continue on?
I'm just letting you know that there is also a park commissioners cemetery subcommittee as well on Tuesday.
Hey Ponty, stop interrupting me.
You interrupt me all the time. I didn't even realize it.
Nah,
all right, keep going.
So we've gone completely off track. I mean, we've just gone. I don't know.
And enter Joe Camara.
And thankfully, and then we have a point of order from Joe Camara at the 53-ish minute mark, which I think. I mean, I'm not trying to say anything. I just think that it was appropriate.
For someone who's not trying to say things, you are saying quite a lot. You know that, right? All right, I'm just calling it out like I see it, bro. All right, keep going.
It's not always black and white, bro. He comes up with a good point of order saying, hey, look, he read the order. He read the resolution. And then he's all of a sudden like, we want to talk about properties. Let's talk about properties. But we don't need to talk about brokerage firms and brokers' licenses and fees and commissions and consultants and architects that have drawings with their engineers. And I'm like, what? I see. And then the greatest part about all of this
oh man, I love it. Yeah.
was Kadeem allowed the conversation to keep going. So because come on, let's face it. Camara and Kadeem probably don't like each other outside of city council chambers. I mean, there's no way that them two will ever have a family dinner together. There's no way.
Mm-hmm.
But my dear God, I mean, his point was perfect. I mean, he made a really good point. It's like, look, let's stay on topic.
Yep.
Which, if for anything, and you may or may not like Joe Camara, but when he was city council president, at least he was able to rein in conversations to keep stuff on topic.
Right.
I mean, I don't remember. I mean, there may have been one or two finance meetings with him that went really long ago, but at least you stayed on the topic at hand. I mean, you weren't going to left fields with ridiculous things. I'm like, what in the world is going on? We get it. You're disgusted with Veloso. You're disgusted with the way everything turned out. Nobody bought the property. It's not. Oh, we did a thing. It's not feasible to do anything. The building is so bad that you probably just want to knock it down. The historical society doesn't want to knock it down because it has meaning to it. Okay, all right, fine. So you want to knock down a building. They don't want to knock down a building. So now what's your solution? What is the solution? That's a question.
For me?
Yeah. What do you have people who don't want to knock that building down because of the historical reference, the historical meaning behind it. Okay. You have people who have tried to sell the building.
Democracy. Democracy is the answer.
Jesus Christ.
I know you know I'm joking at the moment, but I'm going to turn it into something serious. Let the people decide.
I unfortunately, I don't know if there is a decision that needs to be that can be made here.
There's two routes to take. Maybe there's more than two routes to take. Figure out the main routes. Bring the question to the city. Let the city decide. That way, no matter what happens, something was followed. Something that's feasible was followed. Because allowing it to be a political topic and a political discussion and a political platform for people has been a disaster, Derrick. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So if we're going to politicize this topic, which is politicized over and over and over again, bring it to the people. Let the people decide what we should do with it. And once it's decided upon, that's it. Follow through. That's such a hard concept for people. No, I'm not trying to talk about you. What I'm saying in general, it's such a hard topic for people to just follow through on something, make a decision and follow through on it. It's so sad that they don't let the people make decisions on this, especially when they're trusting these people to make the decision and they can't. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, like, they can't. They're not doing it. It's been sitting there since before we were born. You know what I mean?
Have you ever? I mean, have you ever really?
I used to live in that area.
Have you ever really looked at that building?
Yeah, I used to live in that area. I lived right around the corner on Benjamin Street.
Like I'm just gonna say, like, the little marble pillars that go into the front door, the stuff on the top, like the little eagle that's up there.
Yep.
I mean, those are all cool features of that building. I mean, the building is great though, but inside it's just an absolute disaster.
Make a decision. Make a decision and let the people decide. That's all I got about that. It's all that really should be said about it, because keeping it like it is now ain't working, right?
Nope.
Keeping it like it is isn't working. Deliberating over and over and over again and people making their political platforms on this, it's not helping the city. Figure it out. Come up with 3 options for the city to choose. Have a vote. Follow through on the vote. That's it. Nikki said turn them into schools.
No, you can't do it. No way. It'll never happen.
I know somebody that said they should turn it into an indoor farming area. They could do indoor farming. Like, I mean, obviously they could do marijuana, but he was talking more about like plants and vegetables and things like that.
How ironic would it be an old police station having marijuana in it? And growing marijuana.
Yeah, it is what it is.
I think it would be in its glory.
Yeah. Well, I was talking about King Phillips. I'm sorry. You're talking about.
I was talking about the Florida police station. Dude.
Well, I'm way off. I was talking about the.
You went.
Well, we talked about this.
No, we didn't.
No. Me and Nikki talked about this.
Yeah. Apparently, I'm not privy to this conversation.
You know what? Honestly, I was I gotta be honest. I thought you talked about the mills. My bad. As far as I really did. And that's why I was like, the whole thing. Well, me and Nikki talked about the police station, right? Come on now.
I'm good.
Come on.
Keep going.
So me and Nikki talked about the police station not too long ago, and I just said that the parking and the situation of that area is a nightmare. Literally, it's a nightmare.
Absolutely.
There's absolutely, no matter how successful of a business you put there, it's going to be a transportation fiasco because there's a one-way street that's Bedford, and another one-way street that goes straight up. There's nothing, and there's zero parking in that area unless you're going to pay tolls on the side. That's it. There's almost like if you put a successful, you could put a Target there, for goodness sakes. I'm being sarcastic.
I know.
But I'm just saying, like, you could put anything there. It's something that's super successful. You're not going to get a lot of traffic. It's going to have to be a lot of foot traffic to get there. Even if it's a hotel, I've heard people say hotel. I've heard people say a lot of different things. It would have to be a very small, like, bed and bath. Like, it can't be anything.
And beyond?
But it can't be anything. It can't be anything beyond, actually. It can't be. You know what I'm saying? It has to be something small, and it has to take into account that that's already a traffic nightmare. There's nothing in that building, and that's already a traffic nightmare at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. You know what I'm saying? And don't mind that there's a fire department right across the street that they need access to get out every time there's an emergency. So, and it's only two one-way streets that go, north, and one goes north and one goes west. That's it. So you can't really do anything at all there. So I truthfully wouldn't do too much with that property.
I mean, I can't see too much. I mean, no, you can't do it.
No.
All right. The things that were proposed and the things that were proposed that was low income housing.
Don't we have enough of it?
Yeah, I know. There was some other housing. I mean, the other thing that was briefly mentioned
was
was
shelter. I wouldn't mind that.
One of the other things that was mentioned was actually clearing it all out so we have businesses doing it. Problem is that you fall into the same trap. There's no way to park.
I'm just saying, whatever you decide upon in that area, you're going to have to take into the traffic piece. It's a busy street. It's a one-way street. It's two busy one-way streets there with no parking. Like that whole People's Incorporated parking lot's packed every day, every afternoon. So you don't have anything there to really hold a big substantial situation, such as a school. Right. I mean, the school buses in that area would just be a nightmare. Right. Mm-hmm. Such as, any kind of like substantial business. It has to be something small. It has to be something small. There's really nothing else to do unless they figure out a way to solve the parking problem, which they could if they built a actual parking lot there, like one that goes, up straight vertical up and down, not one that needs a lot of
parking garage.
Yeah, basically. If they do something like that, and they could do something like that, then they'd be onto something as far as businesses or an office or something to that nature. But to me, I don't see a whole lot going on there.
The problem is that now you're adding to the cost of it. So now
somebody's going to have to invest in it.
Absolutely. Well, that was the whole point of bringing in that consultant. But unfortunately, no one is seeing the value in it. I mean, at some point, you want to preserve the building. The Historical Society wants to preserve the building. I get that. I completely understand the purpose of preserving that building because of what it stands for. A lot of the decoration on the building itself.
Something like a church could probably work because the traffic would be on Sunday. Most of it would be.
Yeah, but you're still dealing with a lot of cars there. I mean, I don't see a church working at all.
No, I'm just saying you could, because then you could use the parking lot. The People Incorporated parking lot on weekends because it's not usually packed on weekends.
All right, I'll give you that. All right, you know what? I'll give you that.
Yeah, that's one of the things I was thinking about, but I can't really. I mean, I don't want to manipulate the business that wants to invest in that, right? If a business sees something there, right? If they see something there that's profitable, I don't want to stand in any kind of business's way of getting it, right? But I will ask that business, how do you solve the parking problem? How do you solve the traffic problem? Because that's really, for me, the biggest issue. If they have a solution to it, then I'd be like, rock and roll,
Mm-hmm.
But I apologize. I honestly, I was obviously distracted online with my computer. which is why I will never bring a laptop into city council chambers, right? But it's Josh.
Oh, hello, please.
Hello, Josh. How you doing? Hello? Hello? Oh, maybe it was a butt dial. Could have been a butt dial.
Could have been a butt dial.
Think it was a butt dial?
Could have been a butt
No,
dial.
there he is. You might be outside working. Hello, Josh. All right, there you go. How you doing?
Good.
All right, so what brings you to our neck of the woods here with the City Talk Fall River?
Knock that police station down, clear the land, and sell it to a private developer who's going to pay taxes on the property. Even if it costs $1 million, in the long run, the taxes is what the city owns it. So if the city can sell it, in the long run, it will get its money back. It's a loss. You know what I mean? The building, it's not even that, it's not a historical building like Armory is, or St. Anne's Cathedral, or, it's the facade is nice. The side of the building on High Street's got cracks all the way up the facade. I know they said that structurally it's sound, but like Derrick said, the inside's a disaster. Knock that thing down, get rid of it. They made a foolish decision when they didn't give it to, we all heard about it at the meeting. They didn't give it to Tony Kadira or whatever, which would have been a good idea because he does have a good track record. So
Yeah, he's been doing fine. Yeah.
Call it a day. Like you're saying, what kind of what kind of business are you going to put there? Unless they have their own space for parking. I did the busy corner.
It's huge. It's a huge corner. You got the fire department there. You got the post office right down the street. You got multiple businesses in the area. You have that big medical center right there too as well. I'm not saying it's impossible. I just say whatever business is going to go out there and do something with it. I just want to know if they have a comprehensive, substantial plan to deal with the fact that they're going to be on a very, very busy street. You know what I mean? And without much parking.
Yeah, and I don't know if you heard the mayor the day after the meeting on the radio.
Yep.
He pretty much went over all of that. He talked about it. He's like, what are we going to put office space in there? If we put office space, there's plenty of office space downtown that's empty. So it's like, we don't need, just added one more to the, no one's going to take it on to make office space. And like you said, anything when you need any kind of parking, that's going to be tough. The building itself is a nightmare. So, and we even mentioned that taking it down and putting up a city garage. I mean, maybe the city could make some money off of that, selling parking spots during the day.
That's one I would do, Josh. That's one I would definitely look into is making that to a parking area.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. It's the whole story. It's not like the old Durfee. It's it has some nice features, but it's not really like I don't know. Not to me. It's been let go pretty fast, bro. I think it's just all being a dead loss at this point.
And Josh, I agree with the fact that it's that this whole thing has gone way longer than it should have. I get that.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's been over 10 years.
Hey, Josh, have you checked the Herald News lately?
No, not yet.
Why don't you go on the Herald News and look at Richard Cabaceres running for mayor?
Oh, yeah. I got word of that earlier this morning. I don't know if I broke it like surprise, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people knew already. I think it's a nice exit out of politics for him.
That's a pretty brilliant comment right
You don't
there.
want to be involved, run for mayor. You get beat and see you later.
no, I just want to go back to the building for 1 second. Let's just say, all right. So let's just go ahead and let's proceed with demolishing it. Let's take it down. Now what we're doing is we're opening ourselves up to, and you know what? I don't care if this happens. We're opening ourselves up to the fact that there's going to be a lot of construction going on over there, and it's going to really bottleneck traffic during those big times of the high traffic times, like the 3 to 5, the 3 to 6, the morning rush.
They build skyscrapers in New York City, so
Yeah.
it's not supposed to be comfortable.
I
tell a lot of my customers that when you go in, you're doing a remodel, like ripping their
Yeah.
Really,
That-
those are the assessments really are.
That fence looks massively sturdy, by the way.
Yeah, I'll give the city credit. I think she noticed they did shovel around the building during the last snowstorm. I was pretty surprised.
Hey.
So someone shoveled around it. That was pretty good. You don't usually see stuff like that in Florida.
So Josh, you gonna go on? Go ahead.
Go ahead. What was that?
No, I was gonna say, are you gonna go on record into saying whether you will not run for city council this year?
As of right now, I'm not running.
What about mayor?
What's that?
What about mayor?
Mayor? I don't know. That'd be fun, huh?
That would be fun.
I don't know. I just been around so much now. It's like, it's crazy. It's just the whole city. I mean, I wish I was a producer because I'm telling you, you could make a hell of a TV show. You know how to, cut the tape and what to edit in, what to edit out. You could splice it all together and make something really entertaining because that's what we see when you see a guy like Rich Capasaris running for mayor. I mean, come on, like you talk to people that actually voted for him, they're not happy. They can't believe what they've seen over this past year. So I don't know. What do you think of it all? Like, even if he became mayor and there was a totally different city council, did we really think that anything would change much? I don't know.
I've honestly believed that this is just an early April Fool's joke from the start. So.
Yeah, it's an April Fool's joke. I don't know. Oh my god.
Oh man,
Maybe he's gonna run on his credentials.
What credentials?
Well, he's a fireman. He's a veteran. I heard he can make a nice pancake now and then.
Financial expert and guru.
Yeah.
I actually listened to a show about how financial firms hire people like Rich to sell their annuities and stuff, but they advertise these people as financial consultants or financial planner. It's an advertising mechanism that's used in that industry. So that's basically what he is. He sells annuities. He's not some Wall Street, insider, and he knows how all the markets are running. He just sells a product, and if he can get you to buy it, then that's it. But, I wouldn't fall in that trap.
I just can't see. I can't see anybody taking this guy seriously. I really can't.
Oh, I see people taking him very seriously. And here's the reason why.
There's some people that are going to take him seriously.
There's the reasons why. He continually says that he's a fireman. He continually talks about great education in Fall River. He says these things because they're code words saying, I want union support. I will back every union decision out there. He is going to be a union person, like a huge union supporter. And the unions are definitely 100% going to take that seriously. 100%.
Oh, definitely. And one thing I was thinking about, let's say Rich actually got elected to be the mayor, right?
Yep.
We've heard him say, who knows how many times, we all need to work together, or we need to collaborate, and he always says all the things, even though he's never even once kind of just gone along with something. Not to say you should just go along, but he's been against every single thing the mayor's proposed. So it's like, I'd like to see, not that I would like to see it, but when that day would come, how he would handle everything,
I made a comment to a city councilor about maybe 3-4 weeks ago, in a private message that, I told them that you can see the agenda to try to run for mayor from their seats. You can see when a councilor is trying to run for mayor from their council seat. You can see it a million different ways, a million different, different directions. And with Richard,
when they're going to run for mayor,
with
for when they say, it was said at the veterans breakfast. He said this at the veterans breakfast. Like, that must be like if something is said at the veterans breakfast, that is that is it. If it's said there, like that takes precedence over anything else that was said or documents or anything. Just a conversation when politicians get up in front of a room of people, they're telling you the 100% truth of what they're going to do and
Right.
get everything ironed out every time. So, you know, just so you know.
I think that Rich Cabaceres running for mayor, I wonder if he's still going to keep his name on the ballot for city council.
Yeah, I wonder. That will be interesting. If he does.
I think that he can't. He has nothing to lose if he does, right?
I guess not. I don't know, unless he just loses council seat. But
We had Jordan Sylvia do that. Ran for both. I mean, if you can run for both, I guess you can. I think that when Jordan did it, he did it as a way of continuing, because of the fact that he didn't pay for anything. He didn't pay for any kind of airtime.
yeah, it was a totally different.
Yeah, it was his purpose was to get more exposure, in my opinion.
I
Whereas,
thought it was a great idea.
yeah, it was a great idea for him to do that. And then, like, whereas with Rich, like, I think he's going to do what he can to be taken seriously as a counselor. I just hope that he doesn't do any like acting things again, or like does a play, or anything that's like. I just hope he doesn't do anything that's going to be totally embarrassing to the point where we're never going to be able to let it go. Because I want the city to get past all this clown stuff. I hate that we're even talking about this like a real thing, because in truth, he's made a mockery of the city council meetings every single time. So now we get to watch this performance on a bigger scale for mayor. And you've already seen him on the council floor with Jazel Correa. Jazel's literally laughing him out of the council floor, right? So now we're going to have to watch Jazel laugh him off the stage when they debate each other. And we're wasting everybody's time. Because it's just an ego trip for Mr. Cabaceres. It's just an ego trip. That's all it ever has been. That's the only reason why he's involved in this. It's an ego trip. It has nothing to do with anything more than that. So my issue is, there's nothing wrong with that. He can have an ego all he wants, and he can walk in parades, and he could do whatever. He can do commercials, do all that. Just don't do it in my city running for mayor. Don't go do it like for like something else, class president or something. Like, I just don't want to see him. I just don't want to see him in charge of like people's tax money, because he's gonna be hideous as mayor.
By the way,
Quote me on that.
You know what's gonna? You want to know what's gonna be hilarious is when he's asking for the union support, and I seriously have the strongest feeling that the firefighters are not going to back him.
Oh, I think he will.
I'm going to call it right now. They won't.
The union already backed him.
I think it's going to be out in the open. I think
They backed him for city council.
Yeah.
They, as a mayor, they won't back him.
Oh, okay, I can see where you're going with that. All right, maybe you're right on that. Yeah, maybe you're right. Depends. It depends.
They're not stupid. You know, they look for what they want. But
Well,
they don't give it to them.
the union backed Cabaceres for city council, and I don't know if I have the list. I remember that list back in the day. There was a couple of people on it that you just knew it was based on the fact that they are going to vote union, interests. It's not. Yeah, I don't think Steve was on it, honestly. I don't think he was, surprisingly. But Linda was. I think Cliff Ponte was. Kadeem. They were all on it. That's a genuine laugh. That's a genuine laugh, everybody.
I just it's great for my business though, because I meet so many cool people all the time now. Like, I go to their house, we talk about all this.
Yes.
I was just talking to someone this afternoon. They said this is like living in a TV show.
It really is. It's a bad reality show.
It's not bad. It's
Yeah.
like, the show comes on once every 2 weeks. Everybody can't wait for it. More people watch it than you think.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Everybody's at home watching it.
Yep.
We all know it's going to be something every meeting that's going to make you laugh, or something that's going to make you cry,
Mhm.
or almost cry. And then that's what everybody talks about. And then, hey, that's part of let's get into it. My post the other day about Century 21.
Yep.
Oh,
That in
jeez.
no way was to like offend their business or anything, but it's like two counselors, they're working in the same office, whatever, the lady bitch clips the broker, she's an agent, that's what's the deal, that's what it is. You can say whatever you want, that's what it is. Then they show up at the meetings and they're like reversing votes together on the same, reason. It's like, what is this all, like, what is going on here? But no, it's not a conflict. There's nothing like they're not talking about politics at work. Like,
If I'm not mistaken, didn't the mayor actually post on your post?
Yeah.
What did he say?
No, if I'm not mistaken,
he was defending his father,
Yeah.
which I had no problem with.
Yeah. So what was?
He made the claim that he gets some kind of preferential treatment from CDA, like because he does mortgages and stuff. So they would say that could be happening. He gets something. He's giving out a loan. I don't even know what the situation was. So Jesus jumped in to defend his father because the only reason his father was even a part of the conversation is because James was the mayor. So I
Makes
have no
sense.
problem with him defending his father in that circumstance because father's being brought up just because of him. So
Isn't it kind of interesting though? And I don't see it in a bad light. I think maybe some people might, but it's interesting that the mayor is so engaged that he's on your Facebook wall
I'm sure someone
defending his father on a Facebook post. I don't find it crazy. I don't find it like, oh, he should be above this. No, I don't think so. He's a person. He's a human being. Right. Yes. It's Fall River, all right. So for me, like I don't have a problem with it. I thought it was awesome to read that. I was like, that's amazing that the mayor of Fall River, with all the things that they have going on, is on Facebook in the middle of the day. Josh, on a Friday, Thursday afternoon or something like that?
No, it was at night.
Oh, was it at night? Oh, all right, my bad. Oh, all right, I'm wrong. My bad. Ah, okay. All right. My bad. I thought it was in the afternoon. Yeah. That's pretty amazing though. That's pretty amazing.
Well, yeah, no, but I'm sure someone told them I was dying. So funny.
Absolutely.
It was great. On my post though. You know what I mean? I'm just some guy. I can only play that so long. No, I'm just a regular guy.
It's amazing. It's pretty amazing at any rate. So we're gonna wrap this up real quick, but I just wanted to say thanks for calling, thanks for listening, Josh. You've always
Celtics talk?
No, you want to do some Celtics talk, Josh? You good with that or what?
Oh, I think Danny did the right thing.
Yeah, I think so too.
I don't like to see them get. I like Paul George. He's awesome, but
Yeah.
we're not gonna win unless we get LeBron James or Kevin Durant. You know what I mean?
That's who seems to keep on winning is those two guys. I would rather I think that Danny Ainge actually saw this season as a bridge season from the beginning and didn't expect them to win 50, be on pace to win 50 something games. I think he just thought it was going to be a bridge season and that we were really going to start making our moves when we get Zizic from overseas. He's been one of the best players in Europe. He's going to come over. He already got rights to. He's going to come over. His name, Scott, his name came up a couple of times in the trade talks a couple of days ago. So people, I think he's ready. I think Zizic is going to be a humongous upgrade over that piece of nothing in the middle right now that we have Amir Johnson, right? So
yeah, he's trying his hardest,
but he's done. He's done. He's done. He's just a waste of space at this point. So for him, for me, Danny Ainge had this whole season plotted out as just a bridge. If we can trade some things, we'll make it happen. But if he can't do this next year, he can't stand on the sideline and not improve the team next year.
Yeah, no, they gotta make
yes.
some moves.
18 and 19, 2018 and 2019 have to be the years that we at least make an attempt to push. If we don't, I think that the fan base is gonna be rightfully upset about it. I know I'll be upset about it because I'm fine with this year being a bridge year. You have to have bridge years if you're gonna build for the future. There's no way around it. So this is a bridge year. This is a bridge year, and fans hate bridge years, and I know that, especially Boston fans. But wait till
you can't just make a trade and it doesn't really help you out.
Wait till we have a full year of development out of Jaylen Brown, and bring Zizic over, who's basically playing professional basketball right now in Europe. You get these two guys going next year. You add a 2017 pick. I want Josh Jackson. Other people like Fultz. I have no problem with either one, but I like Josh Jackson more. Bring him down, bring him in, and I think we're going to be making a hard push at Cleveland next year. Hard push.
Yeah, there's still free agency, which we have plenty of money for that.
We might go after Gordon, which I don't have a problem with. Gordon Hayward. John have a problem with that either. So it's all good.
Oh, well, you know why they're going after him.
You know that I know that you know. You know.
I don't know why they should go after him because he's fucking awesome.
There you go. Hey, we got two swears today on the show today. Great.
Nice.
Yeah, he's excellent. He's excellent. All right, man. Take care of yourself.
All right.
Don't fall off any roofs, bro. We need you.
No.
All right. See ya. So
Always fun to hear from Josh.
So we had, while we were going, I think Nikki and you were having a discussion back and forth there. Will we have his laptop? Will Cabaceres have his laptop during mayoral debates?
I would hope that it's not allowed simply because
my name got thrown into this too. Sheesh.
No, because I don't know. When you're up there and you're debating, it's supposed to be you and your thoughts. It's you and your ideas, your notes. Now, when your notes are coming from an outside source, I'm not saying that he's getting notes from an outside source during city council meetings. However, I would not doubt it happens, but I would like to think that somebody is smart enough not to do it. But if during something like that where we need to see what you're thinking, let's hear what you have to say, not what you're reading off of.
I'm enjoying the fact that Joe Good is treating this like a real story. Like she gave it like some legs here. I mean, she really did. So some of the commentary in this, I think. All right, so this is the counselor, Rich Cabaceres. I think we have the potential to be one of the greatest cities in New England socioeconomically. Okay. What's in our way is a lack of leadership for a period of time, and I think I can provide that. With leadership, vision is necessary, and we need to have a vision of a new Fall River. So we need to visualize a better Fall River.
Is that part of his 30-year plan?
I'm not sure. But we have to visualize a better Fall River, and we need the right leader to help us visualize. We've had the same economic development policy in the past 20 to 30 years, and our city has regressed over time. We need to start focusing on bringing in middle-class jobs and bringing companies from outside of the city and be a destination where businesses want to locate in order to allow people to work on one full-time job with benefits as opposed to 2 or 3 jobs and barely feed their families with no health insurance.
Wait a minute, isn't that already happening?
What is?
The whole talking and bringing in business from the outside, isn't that already happening? So what he's basically saying is, this is what we need to do, but Jazel's already kind of done that with...
Visualize. You're not visualizing hard enough.
No, I don't need to visualize. I actually see stuff with my own 2 eyes. I almost said it. It's happening right now. So that whole paragraph is a bunch of baloney. Moving on. Done.
Okay, so we'll go back to this.
Moving on.
We need to remember who we serve, and it's the 88,000 residents in Fall River.
Yeah, you're not serving them. Sorry. You're serving one person right now.
Politicians are now revering themselves because unemployment is at an all-time low. But meanwhile, people are struggling to get by in a city with multiple part-time jobs. Let's see. Strength can be summed up as decisiveness. I'm able to pick good people to lead departments. I'm able to stand firm on decisions that I make, and I'm able to adjust and let people understand why I'm making the decision. Under career, there's a lot of continuity of message from the top. People are confused about the message on a regular basis, including the city council. As the next mayor of Fall River, I have the ability to lead by example and bring people to the process and making sure we have an inclusive government as opposed to an exclusive government. I appreciate people who say no and have contradictory opinions, of mine because I think that's how the best decisions are made. And by two sides coming to the table and compromising, something they can agree upon. You know what we're going to do? We're going to download that that meeting where Jazel went to the floor and see how great he is at coming to a compromise and seeing both sides of the table. Nikki Medeiros says, God, every single person who runs says the same capital letters, same things. I agree, Nikki. I agree. I could have literally just said any candidate in the history of life, and all this commentary is pretty much the same thing. Oh, except me, because I don't talk like that. But so he's going to be running. It's legit. It's in the paper. It's going to be spread all over the city. The unions are going to probably very likely take him seriously. So this is going to be something that's going to be a topic of discussion for quite some time now. But like I was saying before, I will try to find that meeting where Jazel went to the floor and spoke to Rich Cabaceres one-to-one, face-to-face in front of everybody. And watch. I'm going to watch because what's this comment say? I appreciate people who say no and have contradictory opinions of mine because I think that's how the best decisions are made. And by two sides coming to the table and compromising on something they can agree upon. I want to see, I'm going to play it. I want people to understand exactly what he's talking about when he has an opportunity to come to a contradictory side of things and how he acts. I yield. We're done talking. I yield.
So by the way, so does that mean
I said I yield?
Does that mean when he says something aha, I got you. That's what that's what two people coming to a head. I mean, is that what that means? No. Sorry.
It's been an absolute disgrace. Dude. I don't care. I truly don't care. Like, you know, it is what it is. I can't think of a worse candidate for mayor right now. To be honest with you.
I mean, look, you want to run this mayoral campaign, whatever. I'm treating this as an early April Fool's joke. I have a feeling that by the time it comes, it's going to be a complete embarrassment. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I truly cannot see this ever going anywhere past in front of his face. There's no way. I mean, a lot of people that I've talked to that have voted for him, you know, maybe they were like, you know, maybe he wasn't like the first or second or third choice. Maybe he was the ninth pick or something like that. But people who voted for him completely just say, I was wrong. It was a mistake. I just love the fact that there are people in his ear that are making him believe that this is actually going to happen. For those people, they better wake up from reality because this is just going to be a complete and utter embarrassment. My opinion, and the views and opinions expressed by me and all that other jibber jabber, whatever, that is just my own opinion. There's no way anybody can take this kid seriously. I can't.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I can't with that. I can't with that. Unreal.
Oh, look who sent it out.
Yes,
That's great.
exactly.
That was the best part of it.
All right. So, yeah. I can't. I wish I could, but I can't repeat that because that's somebody. Somebody is. I mean, I'm not going to say who, but just having some conversation with some people, actually more than one person here on my inboxes about whether or not Cabaceres is the best candidate. I feel like he could be. I feel like he could be a disaster as mayor, of course. But no, I think that I already have somebody in my inbox saying that they think he can be better than Jazel. So, I mean, there's a lot of people that don't like Jazel Correa in the city. You know, they don't. So we're gonna see.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but he's been better than the last two. He's been better than the last.
I thought I wasn't fully. I was in the military for about a decade, so I missed Bob Carrere. I wasn't in the city for Bob Carrere. I came back in the city. I moved back in right around the beginning of Flanagan, 2009. And really started to pay attention to what was going on when he was the mayor, because he was a former classmate of mine. And actually, we worked together at Stop and Shop as well when we were in high school. So I was like, wow, it's pretty cool to see him as the mayor. And then I was like, whoa, about a year later, I was like, whoa, slow down. And then by 2000,
groceries to being mayor.
Exactly. And then by 2011, I was like, oh, hell no, absolutely not. And then by 2014, we got him out. But it is what it is. And I don't see how any way, shape, or form this is going to be good for the city. I'm just not seeing it.
To the person that you said that believes that Rich is a better candidate, would make a better mayor than yours, I would like to hear some of the reasons behind it. Because,
well, I think it's going to be more of a he can't be any worse than Jazel kind of a thing. Just like with most of the Trump guys that I talked to, it was like, oh, well, you can't vote for Hillary. You know what I mean? It's not really necessarily that Rich Cabaceres is a great candidate. It's more of that they don't like Jazel, or they don't like the alternatives. I mean, even for me, like Jazel's a good, or he's been okay, but he's not great.
No.
And I would vote for Jazel over any of these people, because the fact that those people are those people. I'm not seeing a better candidate come up. Carol Fiola, Linda Pereira, all the names we keep hearing now. Richard Cabaceres, I wouldn't vote for them over Jazel Correa. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, if for nothing else, the reason why I wouldn't vote for Rich Cabaceres is look how he acts in city council, and think of what that would be like as a mayor. And that's just not what I would like to see a mayor be like. Sorry, I just can't see it. I can't see the smugness of his comments. I can't see the fact that he keeps saying that he wants to have a better mayor city council relationship. It starts with having a better city council mayor relationship right now. And if you're not willing to accept, or not even willing to try to do it for this administration, even though you may not fully agree with what he's trying to do, what says you're going to do it when you're the guy? Sorry, you're contradicting yourself, and I just can't see it. That's it. Right.
I was typing. You can probably hear my typing machine. It's called a typewriter. Nope.
It's called a keyboard.
There you go. So he wanted to keep the fees and taxes. No, I told my friend who feels as though Jazel's not good that, Rich was opting to keep the fees high. As a matter of fact, Rich would have kept more fees. He actually was willing to bring little children up to the citizens' input during that audits and budget preparation meeting. He was willing to do that just in order to advocate to keep the sanitation fee, which he felt was going to fund or help fund the education department. To me, I think that the city is all feed out. The city is all taxed out.
Oh man, you bringing up that whole thing, Nikki's probably pulling her hair out right now. She has to be. If I know Nikki, just being on the show, she was like, you can't use that money to fund anything else other than trash.
I mean, we already know that. I even wrote a letter to the newspaper about that during that time. But it is what it is. I just think that people are going to see. I want people to really, really, really decide what they want from their candidates, whether it's the mayor, city council, school committee, whatever. Really, really vet your candidates hard. Like, go at them and find out what they're about and who they are. Because that's the only way you're really going to get things done here. People just automatically vote for people all the time. They just automatically vote for Ray. They automatically vote for Linda. It doesn't make a difference what they say, do, lie, cheat, steal. Doesn't make a difference. They're just voting for them. That day has to end someday in order for us to actually move in a better direction. That's it. I didn't say move forward, did I? Move in a better direction, because we have to do that. Okay.
Oh boy. But I mean. So let's just, all right. So I don't. I saw that and I have no words for it. But I just want to move on. Seriously, I can't. The fact that we've spent more than 20 minutes on this discussion of Rich going for mayor.
Mm-hmm.
No. I mean, that just makes me just nauseous. So
Right.
I'm done. Let's move on to something else, please. Let's talk about food for all I care, because that's usually where we end up our conversations. But I don't know.
You have to tell my friend that we'll have to talk later.
Thank
because it's already getting into. Unless you want to call in. If you want to call in and talk about fees and taxes going up, we can. Let's do that.
If that's what the.
Okay, she said no, thank you. Okay, because I'm like, I'm just thinking like, so I said to this person that, hey, if Rich Cabaceres was mayor, or if it was in his hands, he would have kept the fees. He would have kept the taxes. He would have tried to fine people for purple bags. He would have done all these things because he thinks that your money is obligated to the government. Okay? She says, everything goes up. Isn't it part of the economy? No. That's what the government has you thinking all the time, which is the reason why they squeeze you. Didn't a group of legislators in Massachusetts tell us that they didn't want to have a tax-free holiday for the people?
Yeah.
They needed, it couldn't be done. And then all of a sudden, they ask for a raise. They didn't ask for anything. I'm sorry. That's my mistake. They voted to give themselves a raise to the tune of $18 million.
Yep.
They needed to? No, absolutely not. No. So no, you do not need fees to consistently always go up. Your water situation, that one where we're sending our sludge over to Cranston because, again, we didn't plan ahead. We have an old sewage system from 1979 incinerator, right? That's out of EPA regs for decades probably, right? We had that situation going on. The fees had to go up. There was an explanation for that. That was going to happen, no matter who the mayor was.
Right.
That was going to come down the pipe that way.
Mm-hmm.
Fine. I mean, I still think we probably could have came up with something different, but whatever. They chose that, and they had an explanation for it, and that's that. However, this sanitation fee, that could be resolved with just 2 or 3 moves, but they chose not to do it. They chose to double down on going into your pocket. That's what they chose to do.
No. Let's kind of go back a little bit.
Yeah.
FY17 budget.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
You gonna be my hype man?
Keep going.
All right. So we have a budget.
Woo. I get it. I'm sorry.
We have a budget that was pretty well below the last former Mayor Flanagan's budget. I'm sorry, former Mayor Sutter's budget. And we did the whole zero-based budgeting thing. He was able to save some money. Taxes still went up. Don't forget, we still had a 2.5% hike on the taxes. So, not a fan of that. Even though with the money that we made last year, even though with the money that was raised for the government during the time, we had less of a budget, a smaller budget, but yet we still increased taxes. Not a problem with that.
Right.
They got rid of the $10 a month thing. That was estimated to be about $3.5 million. The budget went down more than $3.5 million. Not a problem with that. That was where my problem really truly lied. However, during the year, he was able to do a couple of things that I actually kind of thought was great. First thing he did, he wiped out the debt from all the previous snowstorms that we had that kept getting put forward and forward and forward.
Yes, he did.
He completed all that with the money that he had. He also paid off all the debt from net school spending.
Mm-hmm.
So we are going into FY17 so far. Well, let's just say we finished FY16 at 0.
Right.
with net school spending.
Right.
The previous 2 mayors could not do that.
No.
So, if for anything else, those 2 things I kind of applaud him for. Do I think he's the greatest mayor ever? No, I don't. And for anybody who wants to try to put those words in my mouth, go ahead and try. You and I and Nikki, we've been very critical on what he does. Do I think he's an A mayor? No. Do I think he's a B mayor? Maybe B minus C plus, maybe even C.
Well, I think probably one of the biggest things he did besides get rid of the sanitation fee to try to help taxpayers out was Meg Mayo Brown brought forth a budget, and he gave it back to him. He said, not in so many words, but they came back with $4 million less on the budget.
Yeah,
I thought that was big. And I know a lot of people, again, would say, oh, he's taking away from kids, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm sure that's going to come down the line. But I'm sorry, guys, 53%? Is it 53%?
It's rough. It's well over 50% of our budget,
operating budget,
of the city's operating budget is going to schools.
Right. So we pay a lot for schools. Edward Costa came forth with some information back in the day when he hosted the show with us that we pay more per pupil than most places in the state, right?
I would like to.
So if we already pay so much, the answer to our education department isn't to give it more money. It's to improve the quality of what we have.
I agree.
Right? So like right now, Derrick, my apartment's not too horrible, but it's a mess, right? A little bit of a mess. Not too crazy, right? Do I need to go spend $1 million zillion to make it clean? I could, but do I have to? No. I get off my butt and I do a better job, right?
I mean, it doesn't look horrible.
No, I'm just saying you can improve the school department without spending millions and millions and millions of money. Everyone in Massachusetts that's involved in politics thinks that you need more money to fix problems, which ultimately ends up putting us more in debt. That's the reason why we are in so much debt. I mean, besides pensions, of course, but we're in so much.
Well played on that.
Thank you. We're in so much debt because the answer to everything is spending. The answer to everything is, it goes up all the time. That's not true. It doesn't have to. It absolutely does not have to.
Now hold on. Now we understand.
Here we go.
Almost every
We're gonna have to put that on hold because we got somebody Mr. Necessary coming through the door.
Can Mr. Necessary hold on so I can get one more thought in?
Mike, you gotta hold on because Derrick has a sentence.
But quick question. Did you guys get an advancement in pay or something? You got caller ID over there?
I got you. I got you saved on my phone, Mike.
Oh, snap. Okay,
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's official. I'm in the list.
Yes. Yeah, you're not off the grid. You thought you was off the grid, huh? Now you ain't off the grid.
Mr. Necessary, you just made the list.
All right, so go ahead, Derrick. Finish your sentence.
No. The only thing I was really going to say was that every year you always see that these people, that everyone that works within the government always gets these raises. Now, okay, I understand cost of living, blah blah blah, but put all that aside, there are fixed costs that don't have to necessarily go up Thank you. That have to go up every single year. That was great. Right.
Derrick, you all set?
Yeah, I'm good. I can't do this anymore.
Mike, what brings you? What brings you to our neck of the woods?
Oh my God! What brings me? Well, the fact that I invested about 6 hours of my life that I can never get back. I figured I had to let it out every way possible, and this is one way possible. So here I am.
Gotcha.
You're basically going to be the victim of my ventilation.
We can go over 3 o'clock today, so go ahead.
I'm good.
Oh, snap,
I got a 4 o'clock appointment at All Star Barbers, but other than that, we're good. We're good. We could stick around for a little while.
How high is the fee going?
It's going all the way up. Fat Joe.
All the way?
Yes, all the way.
All right, anybody gets that references?
Are you going to talk about politics, Mike?
Yeah,
Let's go.
We're waiting on you, bro.
Mr. Sidebar. Come on, man.
Well, I need them. Listen, there's a lot of things going on. So you gotta throw it out. I don't know. We have so much.
Start somewhere, son.
All right. So can I first ask you a question?
Yeah, because you gotta understand something. This is just show teaching. You gotta.
When you walked away from that council meeting, what was your first impression?
Well, you gotta understand there's two things that happened that I walked away from. I walked away from a 6-hour council meeting, and I walked away from a pretty serious accident. So I feel the same about both. I don't know how to put that.
I want to talk about that.
You got hurt in a car accident, right?
Oh, dude, I got railroaded from behind. But I'm not trying to get into that. I was just making the cheap joke that, I mean, that 6-hour, like I said, council meeting, I sat through the first part. I realized what was going on. I said, all right, listen, like, you're already committed to it. You're going to have to just go forward. I did. And, again, at the end of it, I just looked back and said, why? Why did I do that? But, no, I mean, some of the things that make me laugh, like, I don't think you guys got into this yet. I would like to hear your opinion about it. We can go back on. I know we talked about Councilor Cliff Bonnie going with Joe Macy back and forth. I know you guys angled it on the Cliff side. But what I thought also was interesting is the demeanor and the character that, Judge Joe Macy brought forth himself. Because that guy, to me, in my opinion, he's always got this certain type of personality that he comes at everybody with.
A wise guy? Looks a little bit like a wise guy a little bit?
I don't know. It's just, well, okay. Yeah, he definitely, he knows, he thinks he's got his nose down, is what I'm saying. He looks down his nose, I think, at pretty much whatever. And I don't think if he's necessary, there's that position to do such a thing where, the seat he's sitting in right there, I don't think he has the right to kind of talk to people how he talks. Or at least it comes off like in his head he's looking at people that way when he talks. Maybe that's just me, but that's what I see.
Well, I remember.
I'm not even saying he's not right. He could be right in his own sense, but I just don't think he should be showcasing that on the floor.
I do remember when they tried to sue the city. Ray Mitchell and a couple of people tried to sue the city over this.
How did that go?
Yeah, and I remember Joe Macy's commentary was like, who are these people? These were a bunch of almost like these were a bunch of nobodies. Like, I remember that comment. Like, granted, I didn't support the
Well, do you understand? I mean,
the lawsuit, but
and I'm gonna try to probably edit that. I've been slacking on my editing game, and I'm gonna try to edit some stuff later. Where one of the things I thought was hysterical was, I mean, he spent about, I think, 10 seconds at least, which in that time feels like an eternity. But he spent about 10 seconds going explaining back and forth with, I believe, Cliff and Linda about how he was going to answer, and he did answer. I did. I'm gonna. It was like this weird, 10 seconds of complete awkwardness, and at the same time, like I said, condescendingly looking down. And I don't know. It just doesn't seem like it fits.
I got you, man. I got you. So you got Rich Cabaceres running for mayor.
Interesting, right?
Right.
I did not see that coming.
I saw it coming. I remember sitting with him. Yeah, I know. That's it. He actually said it too. I do think that I remember correctly. We're at Cav Restaurant, of course. When I remember, I was going to Cav all the time, right? So I sat with him right on the side of him and said, "You're going to run for mayor." He goes, "Well, if the people want me to, I'm not going to rule it out." But he never fully answered it. I guess the people spoken. So actually, I had a friend telling me that they felt as though he could be a better choice than Jason Correa right now. So there are people out there that's going to take this ridiculousness seriously. So it is what it is. We're going to have to go forward with this. But, it is. Yeah, let the people decide. That's it. That's how it goes. So.
He had, like I said, this is in that rumor, so the rumor's gone long enough, and I guess, more power to him for throwing the hat in. You're going to see, like I said, what I'm going to find interesting is, again, for me and all the other local political geeks out of nowhere who develop out of this randomness, this is going to be entertaining because, let's be blunt, or let's be honest, again, each of these people are going to have their own character traits that are going to make these fantastic. I don't know, fantastic.
We already know that there's an anti-Jazel element out there. Exactly. We already know there's an anti-Jazel element out there already, right? We know that. So you've seen them all post on Facebook and all this, that, and the other. Everything the mayor does is awful. And I'm pretty sure that those people are going to be backing another candidate. It could be Rich, could be.
Wait, hold on. I got a quick question though. What's your opinion? Is he still a kid?
Yeah, he's young, isn't he?
No, I don't know. So I'm just saying. I'm just asking other people's opinion because I know that was a hot topic at one point.
Are you talking about Jay's career being a kid? Well, I've never viewed him as a kid anyway, because even a 24-year-old person is still a grown adult. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, but what I'm saying is, if we put our ears to the street, you know what I'm saying? If we put our ears to the street.
Yeah, people still say, oh, I can't. You know, what life experience does a 24 or 25-year-old have to be the mayor of a city? And really, what I've said is, if you look at some of the older city councilors that we have, and you look at the fact that we had a 60-something-year-old mayor who was completely clueless as to what taxpayers were going through in this city, to me, age is only useful if it's used correctly. Go ahead.
I just wanted to jump in that second. Did I make a motion?
I had the floor.
Let me tell you something.
Point of order.
Okay. Well, off of that, this is where I was going with the whole. I asked a serious question, kind of in a joking way about the whole kid, because I mean that was one of the strong arguments they tried throwing out at the beginning. So here's where I'm going with this. I guess you could say a political analyst now at this point, whatever. And I just feel like this is where my product goes in. And so I'm gonna tie this into my opinion on the Capiceris farm from there, and whatever. I said this at the beginning. I said this at the very beginning when there was rumors of when they first started councils. Really, when these rumors started. So when they first got into council, there was already the rumors about Capiceris and about Ponte potentially running for mayor. So those rumors were out there. So let's just be real about that. So now this just materializes where Rich Capiceris says, okay, I'm going to finally do it. Now here's where I'm going with this. I mean, again, to me, I look at it as common sense, but at the time I said, I'm going to say the same thing now, why I think this is honestly just a horrible idea. Has nothing even to do with just views on potential stances. It's just it doesn't fit the timing. Nothing about this timing seems right. So I just don't understand who's advising these people. There's going to be these people who the Jazel thing was he's a kid. So let's play this out. He's now had actual time in place. He's going to have actual solid things to stand on when he steps up to the platform and tries to give his stance on things. And you're going to have these random people stepping up. And out of these random people, I just don't see why a brand new incumbent city councilor is going to be one of the people who are going to be able to have enough, you know what I mean, in their backpack to bring up. I just don't. That's all.
I just wonder if anyone's really watching these council meetings and not realizing what a fiasco and what a performance and what a mockery has been made out of these council meetings. How you gonna talk while I'm talking, Mike? Mike, how you gonna talk in the middle of me talking, man?
Now you know how I feel.
You do the same thing.
Yeah, I know.
Liar.
I know. But you know what it is? It's like Dragon Ball Z, where they shoot the fireballs at each other and you gotta push them back and forth. I know. I apologize in advance, ladies and gentlemen.
That was probably the worst comparison to anything I've ever heard in my life on this show. Okay, keep going. But seriously, all jokes aside, if anyone pays attention to these council meetings and is watching all from top to bottom, one meeting after another, how poorly and how unprofessional things get when he starts talking. or come up with some crazy rule or whatever that doesn't even exist, right?
Well, okay, so now
right?
I mean, no, I agree 100%.
Oh, okay, all right.
No, I'm with you. This isn't even an argument. This is what kind of sucks to your show maybe right now. There's not even going to be a back and forth. I'm in agreement with everything so far.
Are you going to play devil's advocate sooner or later?
It's like, look, if you want me to play the other side, I can do it. We can do that. I can get into some role play. I mean, if you want me to rock with it, let's rock with it. I mean, I don't care.
I don't, actually.
I don't want to either. I'm not going to lie. I would invest my soul in that. My soul doesn't want to go down that road.
There you go.
It's taxing, DJ. And we don't like taxes.
There you go.
So, no. Wait, here's what I'm going with the other part now for this. Now, when he tries to get in on this right, he's going to make this run for it. I don't understand. I think you brought up the question: is he going to be able to do the two? So do you really think? What do you think is the best investment? Does he go full on mayoral, or does he do I'm going to do both?
Well, again, I use the only example that I have where Jordan actually did run for both. I don't think anyone ever did before that. So I think that when Jordan, I don't know if it's 100%. I can't say that for sure, but I know that we haven't seen it in recent time for a long time. So for Jordan to do it, right? For Jordan to do that, he did that with the intentions of getting more airtime because he doesn't pay for any advertising. Huh?
Genius.
Right. So he didn't pay for advertising. He didn't pay for advertising or anything like that at all. So for him to do it, that made sense for him. With Rich Cabaceres, he's trying to come across as being taken seriously for mayor, right? So I think if he runs for both seats, that might actually degrade his chances of actually becoming the mayor. You know what I mean? Right. I think that if people are going to take him seriously, then he is going to have to show everyone he is taking it seriously, which means that he is going all in, putting all his chips in for the seat. Makes sense, right?
Did you finish that part? I got one to interrupt you.
You're good.
The phone thing is difficult. Okay, I was going to say,
Hey, you're sounding muffled right now.
You hear me good right now?
A lot better.
All right, so here's where I'm going with this. I just wanted to add this to it. I wanted to get your opinion, and actually, Derrick, too, I want you in on this. I want everybody's opinion on this because this is just something I wanted to vent. So let you get the perfect opportunity. How honestly cheesy, though, is it that there's this political strategy to be like, okay, I mean, Jason came in with it. Let's all be honest with it, too. So, you know, the Flanagan situation happened. Everything got combative against Flanagan, and you know that's what ruled the city council, and that's what also propelled the whole recall movement, and that's what propelled the recall election. And Sam Sutter gets in. That's great. So at the same time, though, now Jason gets in there, and Jason adapted what was the best attack strategy to put in place. He put it in place. He did it very well. He did it so successfully. Boom! It gets him all the way to the seat of mayor. But now the problem, and this is what I'm saying, and what I'm getting at, I find it cheesy. I feel like this is going to be the new strategy that everybody and their mother thinks they're going to take. So as soon as they get in the city council, it becomes this weird combative thing. These rumors have been going on since the very beginning he got in the seat. And since the very beginning, he's applied the same strategy. So it's not even me saying a discredit to his actual beliefs. I'm not questioning where he stands on his true beliefs. But the attack strategy is the same that was in place before. And if this is going to become the new thing to do, I think this is cheesy as hell. But that's just me. IMO.
Well, I think that nobody wins. I mean, when Jazel was actually running for mayor as the city councilor, he engaged himself in topic to topic. He didn't just overly oppose everything that Sam Sutter did. And it was, hey, hold on a minute. Hold on. Oh, because some of the things that Jazel Correa opposed was a lot of things that we all opposed. We opposed the fee, right? We opposed the bags. We opposed some. Well, he didn't actually oppose the bags. We opposed the fee. We opposed some of these other things that were going on, right? So it was kind of easy for him, for Jazel, to take these positions because it was positions that most people in the city didn't want. But when you have like a money transfer of $10,000 being a huge topic of like debate and an opportunity to politicize and all that, now you have an issue, right? So he might be running for mayor from his seat, just as Jazel may have been doing that as well. But do it in a productive way that's going to look out for the city if you're going to do it in any way, shape, or form. You feel me?
He came through cutting the grass. He made the path. He did it first. That's what I'm saying. He created it, and he did it. Because of that, I'm with you. I agree. He was using real things at the time that really applied. But I'm just trying to say, I'm giving him credit at the same time. But I'm just saying, my view, my analysis is that was the best strategy to use.
Absolutely.
And he did it well, and he used what I'm agreeing with you. He used real circumstances that actually applied.
Mm-hmm.
And when I laugh, it's because I know where I think you're going with this is the fact that it's being over, like it's a lot of extra put in on it. There's a little bit of an extra trying to like take something and make more out of it, make a mountain.
He's made a mockery. He's made a mockery out of those city council meetings.
Same strategy applies.
but he's made a mockery. But he's made a mockery. I'll just keep on saying it. He made a mockery out of those city council meetings in his pursuit. I had to because I'm trying to finish the sentence, man. Killing me, Mike. Killing me. Anyway, Derek's gonna chime in.
No, I don't even know what the question was because I just heard a massive statement. What is the question that was supposed to be asked here? I heard. What do you feel about this strategy? Because, like I said, I feel like this strategy is being now that it's going to be the new method for everybody who wants to be mayor. They're going to come in and they're going to as soon as they get into the position, running for mayor from the seat. Combative strategy off the cuff, and then it's automatic. Like that's they're running for mayor. It's like I said, when Jazel came in and used it, it worked, and because it fit, everything was real, it was natural. Right. But it worked because it worked. It's now being looked at as the potential win strategy, and here we go. We have the first person up.
That's a straw man on his part.
All right, so Mike, let me say this: the fact that when Jazel did it from his seat in the city council over about 2 years ago now, because he started kind of going hardcore at it in 2015. I don't think that was. I think that the move from the city council to the mayor seat, that I think that was new. However, what you got to also take a look at is the city council has continually been doing that to preserve themselves on the council for decades now. So what Jazel did was he actually took the game and he actually upped it one level. Now you're starting to see everyone else do the same thing that Jazel did. So he did pave the way to do it, but the game has been there for a long time. It's evident because you start seeing people. I think you even started seeing that in the I want to say it was the 2015 election where you started seeing people like Ray Mitchell come out and saying, "Well, I actually came up with this," and he also made the mention of how all of the new LED streetlights. He was the one that helped get that deal going with was it Ameresco or whatever the heck the company is? Ameresco. He was the one that he came out with all that. So you see that kind of stuff has been happening for a long, long time. Like I said, Jazel took it one step further where he kind of just said, "Okay, you're going to do that for the city council. I'm going to go for it on the mayor's seat." And that was even more evident in the fact that, you know, a lot of the things that he wanted to say that he probably would have said as a city councilor, you kind of now look back and say, oh, he held back a little bit because all of the ideas that he would have had as a city councilor, he implemented as a mayor. And for that, I consider that a slick move. Would you agree? Okay, so that's kind of my answer to your question, but I just, like I said, you may say that it's only happened, you know, Jazel did it, but I still say it's been happening for decades.
Jazel did not invent this, by the way. There was actually a city councilor just a year before that ran for mayor from his seat as well. His name was Mike Mioza, and he ran in the recall election. Right. And as a city councilor, and he also was a home run hitter when it came to the council meetings. So Mioza really was the first person that we've seen in recent memory actually do what you would call a technique, Mike. But I think that Jazel Carrere, the reason why it worked for him particularly is based on the fact that when he did it, he perfected it, and he focused on very, very high-end topics that the mayor at the time could not argue out of. You know, he just simply couldn't argue out of.
Okay, so you know what you just did? I'll give you this. Watch this. All right, so I'm like, all right, fair point. And now, just because I agree with that, I'm gonna add this to it. That here's what makes this even more sad. That in literally the span of what you just said, Mioza to what we are now, we've already recognized this as wow, this is how this works. It's kind of sad that I'm going to add this to the commentary that it took us this short of a time span to realize this is how this works. But whoever's been here for the longest time, rolling for the longest time, has not figured that out. If that's been the technique that's been in place this whole time.
It's only been, if you look at it, it's only been from 2014 to now, the beginning of 2017.
That's us. I'm seeing before us now, people who've been, in the scene for the longest time, catching it all.
Yeah, perhaps. But I just think at the end of the day, now that he's on the platform, now that he's here and put it all out there that he's going to run, we're going to see people who don't like Jason Correa supporting Cabaceres. It's going to happen. I want to see. Yeah. I want to see when they debate. I want to see that. I just think it's going to be. I feel bad for the city in a way because this is just a performance, you know. But I get it.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but not yet. I know, and this is why I think at least I'm optimistic in this sense that at least for now, I think whatever's gonna be the best for now is still what's gonna come out. But we'll see how the entertainment plays out, and we'll see the battles turn into like stories and things get twisted and all that. But I think at least for the time, whatever, I'm not saying it's gonna be the best we could have ever had in the world, but whatever the best option is that's presented, at least I'm optimistic at this time that's what we'll go with. So we'll see what that is at the time. But like I said, honestly, more importantly, I think for entertainment, I think we're going to just see how this plays out and how it's going to be quite the show. I think it's going to be quite the show.
I gotcha. Hey, thank you for calling in. Thank you for listening.
No, hey, like I said, been listening since the beginning. Great show, guys.
Thank you very much, man.
All right, wait a minute.
So we haven't actually this is the first time that Mike's called where we didn't do an advertising for Necessary Media because he hasn't had his show in a little while. So when Mike does do Necessary Media again, and I'm pretty sure he's going to start doing them again now that the election season's kicking into high gear, we'll definitely we've always had no problems at all letting people know when and where Mike was doing his show. And I actually like Mike coming into the studio every once in a while and doing a necessary edition of City Talk Fall River. It's always nice. So this went by really fast. This 2 hours went by very fast. Thanks to Josh. Thanks to Mike for calling in. Thanks to Nikki for texting in with all of us. Thanks to my friends on the inboxes as well, everybody. You know what? We have to welcome a different perspective. That's why I didn't want to shoot down my friend who I feel is going to be supporting Cabaceres for mayor. I don't want to shoot people down like that. I personally, I don't think that he's going to make a good mayor, but there's going to be people out there that do. And we're going to have to respect everybody's opinions one way or the next.
Great.
So at any rate, let's move on and we'll do this show next week. I hope Nikki's going to be here.
I hope so too.
Yeah, it'd be really nice to have all three of us back in the room again.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably say this next week again, but next week my father turns the big 7-0 on Saturday.
Oh, so you're probably not going to be in?
I'll be here, but as soon as 3:00 hits, I am out.
It's fine. I mean, I don't hold you longer than you need to be here.
No,
All right, everybody. Thank you very much for listening. I hope that you enjoyed it. We certainly did. And have a great day.
See ya.